Okay, my friends, when life looks okay but feels off, this is where we talk about it all. And welcome to This Shit Can't Be It, where we have real, unfiltered conversations about rising through the hard things, the things that happen in life, reclaiming your personal power. And this is where you can feel seen, get inspired, find tools, and be able to really find your own way of healing and growth. You're right here. You're in the right place. I'm your host, Ann Oikel, and today I have my beautiful friend, Michelle McPhee here. And today's episode is all about going from invisible to empowered. And Michelle is here. She's on a journey. It's a powerful one where she's navigated grief, identity, self-worth, and she's here to help other women to be able to rise so that they can get out of the weeds and find themselves. Welcome, Michelle. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much, and I'm so honored and thrilled to be here. And I hope whatever I have to share is going to help and inspire other people to become the best versions of themselves.
That's awesome. So let's get started. I really want this to be able to be a heartfelt, warming conversation. Give us your backstory. What was it that you were dealing with when it came to, your self-worth challenges, the everything that you experienced when you were younger up until becoming a widow at a young age?
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I've got a long journey. I'm not sure if you want me to start when I was in grade six. Do you want me to start there? Because that's kind of how it all started for me and
Yeah,
how I thought about myself.
absolutely.
Okay. And a lot of people out there, and I've shared this story many, many times on stage and in personal conversations. And what I've found is I'm not alone in how I felt about myself. And back in grade six, I had a big perm, braces, big old cold sore on my face, and all the things. So you're getting a visual of this. And I'm quite social. Like I love to talk to people. I love, even back then, I was very social. I was shy, but still I love to talk one on one. And I wasn't paying attention in class, and this was in grade six. And my teacher actually stopped the class and he pointed at me, Anne, and said, "Do you know the answer to this question?" And I said, "No, I didn't," because I wasn't paying attention. And he pointed at me in front of everybody and he said, "Michelle, you're not a very bright girl, are you?" And I will never, ever forget how I felt at that point in time in my life, because I took that through school. So I didn't voice my opinion. I didn't raise my hand because I thought I'm going to get it wrong anyways. I'm going to get the answer wrong because I'm stupid. I don't know the answer to that. So I never applied myself. High school, same thing. And I thought, you know what, university, what's the point? I'm not smart enough. And I took that into my adult years. And so I worked a few different jobs. And what I found the love of my life, got married, and he was my biggest cheerleader. And we built a network marketing business together. And he always encouraged me to do the things. And he believed in everything that I did. And he made me feel like I was a queen, I was a princess, that I could do no wrong. And he helped me believe in myself. But getting involved in a network marketing business together to build that business together was where I really found that I could thrive and shine and take it off of myself and help other people and know that I am all that in a bag of chips, and I am worthy of success, and I am smart, and I am successful. And to this day, I share that story and I share my past and my journey of where I've come, and I help other women feel seen, get unstuck, and find that courage just to take that next step to building a business or becoming the best version of themselves, whatever that looks like for them.
Nice. Now, when you were dealing with that, the trials, especially when you're younger, because I totally get it. I think a lot of us don't realize how much our younger years actually impact us into our adult years. We don't become aware of how much of those limited belief systems we take into the adulthood and take into the next level of life once we're finished school, whether that be high school or university. Did you find that the outside world was reflecting that invisibility back to you during that time?
Yes, I did, because it was the energy that I was putting out there. I was allowing that for myself until I changed my thought process and put back out different energy. That's when I really saw a change.
Wow. So when you lost your husband, how long has it been?
Neil passed away March 13th of 2016. So it's been 9.5 years now since he passed away at
Wow.
the age of 56. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how is that impacted? Because you both were quite young. How did that impact your going forward? Where he was your backbone. He was the one that put you on that pedestal. Like, how did life transition from that point?
Well, at that point in time, I knew it's up to me. I mean, I am the girl or the pink person and the blue person around the house. So I'm doing everything here. And I just channel him. I talk to him. I remember all the beautiful times that we had together. And I know that he was put in my life for a reason. And he helped me to become the person that I am today. And I have him to thank for that.
Wow. And was your son still living at home when he passed away, or had he already grown up at that point?
He was 19 years old when he passed away, but he was at university, so
Mm.
about an hour and a half drive. But he was one of the captains of their university soccer team, so he was going to school to become an accountant, traveling for soccer. So for him to be able to visit his dad and be a part of that, that was a challenge. So it was me to take care of him, because I'm not sure if you're aware, for anybody that's on here, he passed away of glioblastoma, which is a very aggressive form of brain tumor, but it affected him. He was very intelligent, so it was almost like having a child here
Oh,
too
wow.
to take care of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's tough. I totally get that. So going through all of that, what was the next step that helped you find yourself again to get to where you are now?
You know what, Anne, is I just threw myself right back into work, because I worked corporately for a company, Norwex. I loved working for them. And my role was teaching, training, and mentoring the field of consultants to build a business. So that fueled my passion. That's my healing process. That was my full on healing process. So I took maybe a month off or whatever after Neil passed, and I just really immersed myself in it. And I continue to do that, because if I can share what I've learned and share my journey with other people, it helps me heal at the same time.
True. Yes, it's very true. I know when I took Reiki, I was totally oblivious to what Reiki was when I took it. But that's one thing they teach you is that when you do Reiki on other people, you also receive the healing, even though you're giving the healing.
Yeah.
So it's true, though, we do. Now, battling with the imposter syndrome, what started the big shift with that? Because that's huge. People don't always recognize or label imposter syndrome to be able to shift it. So, what
Yeah.
made you shift that? Because that impacted you for a long time.
Oh, for sure. And I would compare myself to other people until, I mean, I would get feedback from people that I was coaching. And it was that feedback that helped me realize that, yeah, I do know what I'm doing. But you know what? We always have, and this never goes away. And I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect and it's all going to be fixed or whatever, because we all still deal with it every now and then. So every now and then I have this little voice in my head, and I have to shut it down and say, you are dismissed. You're
Yeah,
fired. You're out of here. Bye. You're dismissed.
I
Because
love that. Yeah, it's true,
talk to the
though.
hand,
We have
honey.
to.
Talk to the hand.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing is I know my value now, because I get the feedback from the people that I've coached and trained and mentored, that thank you, Michelle. You appeared for me when needed, Nanny McPhee. Because that's my, and I love that piece of it, because that fuels me. So I know I'm good at it. So I just have to say it. I say it out loud, like, bye, dismissed. And
Yeah.
here's the thing is I'm talking like this now because I feel super, super confident in who I am. But next week, something might happen in my life where I feel like, okay, I just want to eat a bag of Doritos, drink a bottle of wine, and watch Netflix or whatever and get into my shell. And that's okay.
Yeah, I can relate. Yeah.
But seeing that and realizing that, and the next day carrying on, because that's okay. You need to do that every now and then.
Right, you do. You need to take downtime and disconnect. There's 100%. And I
Yeah,
think that's the part that people, and I know for me, that was part of probably one of my biggest challenges is recognizing that it's okay to take that me time. It's important to take that me time and
totally.
unplug, not just self-care, but unplug. Go numb watching TV for a few hours a day, whatever it is you need to do for that duration, but snap out of it. Don't keep it as a pattern to keep you stuck.
But on the
So
flip side, what I will say though is I'm a runner, and rather than, what the earlier suggestion I made, I mean, I'll go for a run and I'll plug in one of my Audible books and I feed my brain with only positive stuff. I don't listen to any of the garbage that's out there. So to flip that to move your body to and listen to something that's going to feed your brain, like that's going to help you too. And then you can watch Netflix and whatever, but feed yourself with something good.
100%. And to add to that, it's important for our viewers to understand that that has to become a daily practice because if not, it is so easy to slip back into the old
Totally.
patterns and way of being. So that leads me to my next question, where you've really honed in to helping women get unstuck. What are some tips or tricks that you would offer our viewers that if they're feeling stuck right now, what's one or two things that you feel that they could do to start shifting that and breaking that cycle so that they can start getting empowered to stop feeling that stuckness?
Well, I think the number one thing is you got to figure out what you want. What fuels your passion? Like, why do you want to get unstuck? Because some people are okay staying where they are, right? So you
100%.
realizing that you are stuck, maybe scared, but you want to change that, figure out what that one thing is first and write it down. And there are 9 habits um, to successful people. And one of the 9 is to move your body.
That's
Moving
huge.
your body is so key because it raises those endorphins and it gets you into a positive state of mind. And it doesn't have to be all 9 all at once. It could be just the one thing. And if lather, rinse, and repeat, just keep doing it daily and daily and daily. And then you're going to start, starting to see this success. But the number one thing is figure out what you want first, because if you don't know what you want, you are going to be like a deer in the headlights and you're not going to move forward.
Yes. And the physiology, I'm glad you brought that up because I got to tell you, I've been guilty of that myself. Like I've gone out and I've gotten all the tools and I've gotten all the courses and all the training, but one thing that was never taught was the physiology, and that's the number one thing that can change and raise your vibration over everything else. Everything else. It can change your
100%.
change you in an instant. And that's a physiology. And I never learned that until recently, how important that one key is first before all the rest.
And another thing too is, all these habits, and they make a lot of sense. And I do a lot of the nine habits that successful self-made millionaires do every single day. And getting up early, and then making your bed as soon as you get up, because that is one thing that you can cross off your list that you feel like you've done something successful. Just that
Yeah.
one small little thing, and it makes such a huge difference. So when you go to get into your bed at night, like, oh my gosh, my bed's made and it's all ready to go. You know what I mean? That's
Well, that's
one
one room
thing.
that's complete that you're walking out of to start your day.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's key. That I love that. So, do you ever look back and realize that everything you've walked through has shaped the work you do today in the sense of what are the moments that made you realize that actually helping others was your mission to rise?
Oh God. I'll never forget my very first corporate job. And it was a moment in time where, like, I worked, in the field, and then I was a real estate agent. So I did real estate for a few years and made really good money because I cared about people. I didn't enjoy it. So when I was offered this corporate job with Arbonne, I worked for them corporately. And I'll never forget, it was our convention, and I had to present some awards, which I loved doing that part. That was my fun part. I was so nervous and getting on. There was thousands of people in there. Oh my God, I was about to die. And I had to walk from one part of the stage across to the other side. I thought, oh my God, please, Lord, don't let me fall. Don't let me fall. Because I had to walk to the podium. And when I got up there and they introduced me and I stood there and the amount of cheering and the "we love you, Michelle's" and "thank you, Michelle," and all those things from the people that I had coached and helped and trained, that I made a difference. I made a difference. And it wasn't about, my head not being getting so big that I couldn't get off the stage. It meant the world to me because I knew that I had touched those lives to help them. And I
Mhm.
still keep in touch with all of those people. And that was years ago, like back to
That
2009 kind of thing.
Wow, that's awesome. And I can relate to that. I've been part of network marketing and I've gone to the big conventions and I got to tell you, like the number one thing most people fear is public speaking next to death.
Totally.
And
Right.
when I first started going to network marketing events, I was like, I want to be on that stage. I want to speak. I want to inspire. I want to motivate. And I lost sight of that for like 30 plus years. Totally lost sight of it. And yeah, it's amazing when things circle back and you find that drive, that passion, that key. I want to do a little thing called what I call rapid fire. It's where I throw questions at you and you just 30 seconds, first thing pops into your mind. What's your answer?
Oh
So one
gosh.
of the
Okay. Okay.
see, it stops us from thinking, right?
Uh-huh.
So what's the one thing that scares you most?
Public speaking.
Really? Wow. That shocks me because where you did so well on stage, like it just wow.
I
But
mean,
it's true though.
when I get up there, I'm fine. But the initial, I got to go up in front of all those people, like holy crap. But anyways, public speaking.
That's awesome. Okay, so what's the one thing that you're most proud of today?
Who I am today, who I've become today, and the amount of people, that the lives that I've touched and helped.
And I'm glad you said that because I really want to point out that it's never too late to start, ever. As long as you got a heartbeat, breath, and your mind is intact, it's never too late to start.
And let me add one more thing. My son Finley, I love my son Finley. I'm very proud of him too. So there you go. I think I did get my job.
And one more rapid fire. So, one message every woman that's stuck in fear needs to hear.
That you have it in you. You just need to find it. And you need somebody to help you, because if you're sitting there at night overthinking, overanalyzing, beating yourself up, you need a coach, you need a mentor, you need somebody to walk this journey with you, to help you figure out what your passion is, what it is that you want, and help you blossom into who you can be, who you've always known that you can be.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is so awesome. And it's true. Like, holy crap. Like, I could sit and talk for hours about these topics. And you and I have known each other for a while. So we've had these conversations over and over again. But the impact that you have on your own life is the biggest impact of all because nobody else can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And I didn't think when I was working my 9 to 5, stuck in that rat race, I didn't think I had that power or that control. And that is a huge mind shift that I think you and myself and so many others
Mhm.
have realized and found. So being able to take women out of that thought process of I can't do it, that it can be done. So how bad do you want it?
Mhm.
How bad does it have to happen? And make it happen, knowing that it can be done.
Yes. And I'm going to add this one thing too, and I'm not sure if you're wrapping up or not, but the one thing that has really helped me is gratitude. And every morning when I get up, I write. I don't do anything else. I pour well, that's a lie because I'm having my coffee because I need coffee in the morning. But I sit and I have my Zen music, my jazz music, my morning jazz or whatever that is. And I write three things that I'm grateful for. And right now I'm looking out my office window and I'm looking at one of my favorite trees that, I get to watch it. the seasons change, or it's my morning cup of coffee. The fact I woke up in the morning, there is something to be grateful for. There's always something to be grateful for. So when you can start doing that, you're switching your brain to the good things in your life rather than thinking about the things that are keeping you stuck.
100%. And I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be my next question is what's the morning non-negotiable routines? And that's key because what you just said is what I now do as well. But when I was working my 9 to 5, I was waking up and functioning from a place of dread. Oh my God, I have to go to work today. It's so busy and hectic. What am I going to be dealing with? Like I was prepping my body and my mind
Mhm.
for the chaos and the havoc versus waking up and, like you say, having that cup of coffee and
Yes.
putting on that music and doing your gratitude journal. I do what's called priming. So it's a series of events that I do and it's a non-negotiable. This is my morning ritual. It's to get that physiology, so I get my body moving, and then I do the same as you. I do the gratitude piece and I write down what is it I'm looking to accomplish? What are three things, three outcomes that I look forward to every single day that I can set my mind to, and that drives my daily activities. And it's
Yes, and
huge.
on top of that too is I have another. This is another tip for those people that are listening too is figure out what your 10 mantras are and then record it in your voice, but record it 3 times in a row. And I listen to that while I'm making my bed without a word of a lie. I listen to that every morning. Is my mantras, and one of the mantras on there is I am so grateful for my age because I get to still be here on this planet. I am so grateful for who I have become. I am so proud of myself. Like all these things. And I feed my brain with that and then my gratitude. And then another fun thing is the universe is your catalog and you need to go through, make a list of all the things that you want. And it doesn't have to be material things. It could be maybe you want a better relationship with your spouse or your kids or your mom or your dad, or perhaps it's whatever that looks like to you. But sit down and have fun with that and have that wants, that dream list. And I was actually reading mine out loud today, and it's a very, very long list. And I'm getting teary eyed looking at that because I know on that list that I can accomplish everything that's on there.
100%. Absolutely. And that's one thing I learned, like with all the different training that I've had, because like you said it best earlier, you know, most of us need to look at coaching. Most of us need to look at, group sessions to help us overcome, help us navigate. And, I started small in a group and it's made a huge difference by up leveling each time,
Yeah.
getting more personal, because that is key. And that's one thing that I learned in when I took some Tony Robbins training is that we always look at the negative possibilities of what if, but all the positive possibilities are also an option. So
Right.
choose. We get to choose.
That's the thing. And when you have a negative thought process, you can choose that negative thought or you can choose the positive thought. You have the right to choose what you're thinking here. And you
Yes.
can change what your day looks like. So one of the things, and I'll share one of the other habits that I learned was reflection. So reflect on your day at night, like what went really, really well, and then what do you want your day to look like tomorrow?
Yeah. Improvements.
100%. And, I'm so glad that we're doing this because you are getting the word out there because I want to help so many people out there. And I want to help so many people discover that they are all that in a bag of chips and Nanny McPhee will appear when needed. I'm happy to help. So,
Just like Mary Poppins.
right? I need my little wand or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
We'll get you a prop. That's awesome. I love that. So, what I'm going to do, Michelle, is I'm going to make sure that your contact information, your web information is all at the bottom of this video so that if anybody wants to connect with you and look at working with you, they can find you and connect with you with the links that are going to be below in this video. So, I can't thank you enough for coming on here with me today. I love you dearly. You're a dear friend of mine. And I'm thankful that I get to have you in my life as well because what we exchange off of camera outside of this is huge. Like we're
Yeah,
constantly in touch with each other and supporting each other and helping each other be accountable and help us
100%.
rise whenever things fall. And it's been a beautiful journey, and being able to have you not just in my life but on this podcast, helping me launch, helping me
Thank
go
you.
and get moving has been massive. So thank you so much. I so
And I'm
appreciate
so
you.
excited for you because you are going to be launching your coaching and all that your experience and your knowledge and all the things that you have to offer too. So we are going to be changing the world, my friend. There's so many people that lives
Yes.
that we can impact. So thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my love. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.